Hey everyone, Denise here from Sewlimitless, and in today's video I was tagged by Terri of Virginia's Daughter Sews, and the hashtag is this way or that way sewing edition, so I am going to answer those questions. Let's get started. First of all, let me welcome you back to the channel if you are returning. If you're new here, then hi, my name is Denise, and this is my sewing channel. So as I said, I was tagged in Terri's video, and I will leave you a link to that one. Now, she mentioned a podcast. I did not listen to the podcast. I actually just took notes from her video since she tagged me in that. So I wanted to go ahead and do this video, while I had a chance to do it. I didn't have time to listen to the podcast or anything like that. So I'm just going to answer the questions based on what she's got in her video, because I have a whole page of notes. The first thing was about, I guess the whole concept was in different sections. So I guess the first part is preparation. So the question there was new fabric or shopping your stash. I am a shop your stash first person. At least now I am, because I have so much fabric stash that I need to use that rather than go to the store. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't buy fabric. In fact, I've got a couple of pieces that should be coming soon, but those are things that I actually can't find at Joann's or someplace like that. So I will share those with you when they come in. But normally I will shop my stash. The next was PDF versus paper patterns. Even though I do love my PDFs, I will most often do paper patterns, like from the Big Four in particular. Obviously, as you all have seen, I will do both. But I would say I'm more into the paper patterns rather than the PDFs. Cut or trace. That is in reference to the patterns. If you cut out your patterns or if you trace your patterns, I do both. It depends. If it's an older pattern that I know I'm going to have a hard time trying to replace, I will definitely trace it. Certain patterns that I've reordered, for example, from Etsy or eBay, I will trace those because if I had to go through the process of trying to search for them and find them, and I just really like these patterns, it's normally for things that I've made before, but I had cut out the pattern before and don't have the size that I need now, I will definitely trace those patterns especially. So I do both, but it all depends on the situation and the pattern. The next for the preparation was muslin versus no muslin. Generally, I am a no muslin unless it's for pants. For pants, I will often make a muslin because pants fitting can be a little tricky, but for most anything else, I'll just cut it out and see how it goes. So those are the first section that I have. Now, next was all about fabric. So the first one was in-store versus online shopping. Definitely online. Nowadays, it used to be in-store. Now I'm almost always online shopping for fabric. Honestly, I've never had a problem. In most situations, the quality is even better than I expected. Now, occasionally I'll go to Joann's here if I need to. We also have another local fabric store, G Street Fabrics. You've heard me talk about that. I will go there. I know their quality is great, but they can also be very expensive. So I always wait for their sales. But in general, if I need fabric, it's online shopping almost exclusively for me. Now, next was knits versus woven. Definitely knits. I have a lot of knit fabric. I love sewing with knits. They're comfortable to wear, they're easy to sew, and they're very versatile. So for me, I love knit fabric. I do have wovens, of course. This top I made, this is a woven, but generally speaking, it's knits for me. Next, tumble dry versus hang to dry. I've never in my life hung a piece of fabric to dry. I put it in the washing machine and the dryer period. That's what's going to happen to the garment when it's made. So that is what I do beforehand. I always pre-wash my fabric. Next for the fabric section is rotary cutter versus scissors. I do scissors almost always. The exception is sometimes small pieces of fabric. If I have small pieces that will fit on that, then I will generally use the rotary cutter, but I almost always just use scissors. It's just easier, faster, because then I don't have a mat that covers my entire table. So if I did, I might do that more often, but I don't know. I like scissors, so that's what I use. Okay, the next section was clothing construction. So under that, the first question was about, do you follow the pattern or do you wing it? No, I do not wing it at all. Almost never. I will follow pattern instructions almost to the letter. The exception being when making a knit top, for example, and there are sleeves and they tell you to gather the sleeves. I've never really made a knit top where gathering sleeves was necessary, and I like to insert them flat with the fabric is flat into the front and the back, and then you sew in the sleeve. I do that. It's just easier and faster for me. I don't see the need to gather. So follow pattern instructions for me, definitely. Next is bias tape finish versus facing finish. I would say facing, because I don't really use bias tape unless I am making something where I want the inside to look really good and finished. Then I'll sometimes put bias tape in there. And that's also a time when I've got a lot of bias tape I just need to get rid of. So I will do that, but normally I won't bother. Next is serged seams versus French seams. I've only done French seams once, and it was many years ago. I serge. I'll either serge, or if I'm not using the serger, I will do pinking shears, something like that, but I'm not doing French seams. Next is button fly versus zip fly. Definitely zip fly, because it's not even about putting in the buttons. I don't want to have to loose all those buttons. Definitely zipper fly. Yeah, I don't want to have to undo a bunch of buttons when you gotta go. You know what I mean? So zip. Hand sewn versus machine sewn buttons. I used to only do hand sewn, and then I remembered that I've got a button sewing foot on my machine here. I also have one on the Brother machine that's back there. And so lately I've been doing machine sewn buttons. It's just quick and easy, and I think it looks kind of cool. I mean, just watching it happen is just interesting. So I do machine sewn, but either one, it depends on the buttons, because some buttons obviously you cannot sew on the sewing machine. Fusible interfacing versus sew-in interfacing. Definitely fusible. I don't remember the last time I actually needed to use sew-in interfacing for anything. So no, I think I have maybe a yard of sew-in interfacing that I just have, but I don't use for anything. Next, snip as you go versus snip at the end. Now, I think what this is referring to is, for example, if you were doing something with a princess seam and you need to snip those that curve. I'm guessing this is what this is talking about. I do it as I go because I want it to press flat and look good. So yeah, I would say snip as I go and not at the end. I can't imagine what else that would be referring to than that. So anyway, definitely snip as you go. Sewing habits is the last category. And so the first section is late night versus daytime. Definitely daytime. I don't sew after 8 o'clock at night at the latest. That's because I'm tired. I will make mistakes. So the more tired I am, the later it is, forget it. So I am definitely daytime sewing for sure. And let's see, slow and steady versus frantic chaos. I am definitely more slow and steady. I don't have frantic chaos because I can't think when things are chaotic. So slow and steady. Then the very last one is tidy as you go or clean all at once. I clean up all at once, and I do that pretty much after every project because I need to vacuum my floor. I've got, little strings, and depending on the fabric, if the fabric has frayed a lot, there's going to be, bits of fabric all over the floor and it just looks bad. So I definitely clean at the end, and I like to do it. I like to start the next project in a clean area. So I like to clean up after I'm done. I don't mind things being left out. That's why I'm in my basement, so I can leave everything out and I don't have to worry about it. But at the end of the project, I like to put everything away and then just start the next thing with a fresh, clean sewing area. So this, like I said, I will leave some links below to Terri's video. And yeah, you can check out how she did her answers. But yeah, that is it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below and let me know. Do you all tidy as you go? Do you clean all at once? Let me know. So I thank you all for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. You can hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next upload. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.